Good day guys, welcome back to this channel. So if you are new to this channel and you know you've not subscribed, please check and click on that subscribe button, like, and also make your comments. I would love to watch out for it. So let's take a look at our JPY pairs, which is our CADJPY to Swiss franc JPY, EURJPY, New Zealand JPY, and AUDJPY. So let's start with this CADJPY, right? You would want to see this full trend on this our CADJPY. What is the trend for this CADJPY? That is the first thing you will ask yourself before you actually place any trade. What is this trend? So on this daily time frame, you can see the trend is a bearish move. We are getting a lower lows and a lower highs. Yes, lower lows, lower highs. Now we've added this moving average, which we will be using 10 period moving average. Now you guys know how to trade this moving average. You all know that once this price is below our 10 period moving average, then there's only one movement you all should watch out for, and you should look for a way to take, which is to actually sell, right? Once it is below this 10 period moving average. But once it is above it, then we have to go long. But clearly we can see that this price is below 10 period moving average, so we have to sell. All we just have to do is look for a setup. Now let's take a look at this trend. Let's start it from here, which is a lower lows. Of course, price has once reacted to this level previously. That is why we had a reaction at this level, why price gave us a pullback. We saw price drop to this same level again. We saw that price has once reacted to this level previously. One of the reasons why we had a pullback, right? Then we had a drop again. After this drop, of course, we expect a pullback to be made. So this is one of the reasons why we're having a pullback on this CADJPY. So after this CADJPY, once the pullback is over, what do you expect next? Of course, we expect a bearish move for CADJPY. So notice on the 6th of December, we actually closed bearish. And you will know that CAD pairs, especially when you take a look at New Zealand CAD, you see New Zealand dollar is going against our CAD. You will take a look at Euro CAD, you see Euro is actually going bullish against our CAD, right? You see CAD is falling massively. If you take a look at CAD Swiss franc, you also see it is dropping. When you take a look at USD CAD, you see that USD is going bullish against CAD. So CAD itself is dropping. So one of the reasons why it's not a surprise thing, or it should not shock us that we are seeing a bearish move for a massive drop on CAD, right? So CAD, we will continue to expect a drop. So once the pullback is over, they would expect a drop. So I personally believe that today we would also have a bearish move. We would open and close bearish. Now that should take us to the 4-hour time frame where we want to place this trade. So you can see it, we've gotten a pullback, right? Now after this pullback has been made, we made a drop. We had a drop. Guess what? The drop was made. Then a pullback was made. Notice that this pullback failed to break this highs. Assuming this pullback this pullback will happen and it broke this previous highs, right? Then we might say, okay, this is still an uptrend move. But guess what? It failed to break it, and we had a drop again on this CADJPY, by breaking this previous lows. Now after this drop has been made, what do you expect? A pullback. After this pullback, what do you expect next to happen on CADJPY? Of course, another drop. So this CADJPY, we would be expecting a bearish move against our JPY. And coupled with the fact that if you take a look at this JPY PS, take a look at JPY index, we are going bullish, right? So if we are going bullish on JPY index, that is on our JPY PS, right? Any other PS will be changing, so our JPY should give us kind of like a bearish move. So if we have a bullish move, let's start it from here. So if we take this as an uptrend move and we consider this as a pullback, then we take this as a new highs and we consider this as a pullback to this level. Of course, we expect it at this level. Then we will be expecting a new highs on JPY index. So as we will be expecting bullish move on this JPY index, then be expecting a drop on CAD, right? Once that JPY is going bullish, then we expect CAD to actually drop. So CAD to JPY, we should expect a bearish move once the pullback is over, by the way. And let's see what this 1 hour time frame says. So still a bearish move. So you see this as an highs, and we will take this as a correction. Then here comes a lows, right? Take a look at lows, highs, new lows. Now we are having a correction, which is highs. So I believe anytime soon it will be over, then we would continue our bearish move on CADJPY. Next one we have here is our Swiss franc JPY. So the trend again, what is the trend before we place our trade? The trend is clearly on a bearish move. We can see clear on this daily time frame. you can see lower lows and lower highs, lower lows and lower highs. And one of those reasons is that we're having a bullish move on JPY index. So when you take a look at your index from here, this movement started around 20th of October. You will be having bullish move on JPY. So of course, it's not a surprise we are seeing a drop on this Swiss franc JPY. So of course, now let's take a look at this movement. Once you get a drop, right, we expect a pullback to play out, then another drop, and guess what you expect next? A pullback, then again another drop. After that, we expect a pullback. So once this pullback is over, which I believe it will be over today, right, then we would expect a drop. So this 7th, I'm expecting a bearish move on Swiss franc JPY. It might go bullish a bit, but I believe by the time market will close today, we should actually close bearish. So I'm expecting price to drop further. Coupled with the fact that this price has now given us a pullback, and it's now hit our 10 period moving average. So I expect price to drop. As you can see, price dropped to this level. Then we saw a pullback at this level, right, on CAD and Swiss franc JPY. The pullback came to hit our 10 period moving average. It dropped. Then a new pullback was made, right? Once it dropped, a new pullback was made. That you see the candlestick very, very close to our moving average. Now we've gotten a new drop. Now we've gotten a pullback, which is very super close to our moving average. So we now expect a reaction whereby price will drop further down. So Swiss franc JPY, I'm expecting a bearish move. Now let's see what this 4-hour time frame says. So this 4-hour time frame, the price is still above this 10 period moving average. So only consider to short or sell on this. That is on two things. If this price is below our moving average, especially on the 4-hour time frame, right? It was to see that this price has dropped and it is now below our moving average, then you can go ahead to sell. If not, you would want to stay away from this trade, or you'll go to your 30 minutes time frame. You would want to see multiple break or structure downward. So on this time frame or 30 minutes time frame, what can you see? You clearly can see multiple break or structure upward. That is to tell you that this uptrend move, I don't think it is over yet, but I know it will be over today. But once it is over, then we should see something like a drop, a correction, right? A new drop, right? A correction. Maybe then once the correction has been made, then you can go ahead to take your sell on Swiss franc JPY and continue your bearish move. And by that time, price will even be below this 10 period moving average on the 4-hour time frame, which will be a confirmation that you can go ahead to sell on Swiss franc JPY. So Swiss franc JPY, we are expecting a drop soon. Now let's take a look at EURJPY on this daily time frame. First of all, the trend. What is the trend? Clearly you can see that this is a bearish move, right? So we are seeing a lower lows and a lower highs. So let's see what this moving average says. So we would use 10 period moving average. Now those of you that trade the moving average, you all know once this price is below our 10 period moving average, you have to look for a way to sell. But once it is below it, above it, then we have to go long, right? But clearly we can see price is below our moving average. So let's start it here as a drop, and we will consider this as a pullback. Here again comes the drop. We will take this as a pullback. Here we see a new lows that broke this previous low, so we are having a pullback. Now once the pullback is over, we'd expect a drop. So one of the reasons why it's 6, right, on the 6 to actually open and close bearish. So this 7th, we would be expecting a bearish move. We see that this price has gone, it's our 10 period moving average. So we expect a rejection at this our 10 period moving average, and we expect price to drop further down. So EURJPY, we expect a bearish move. So let's see what this 4-hour time frame actually says. So you can see on the 4-hour time frame, it is bearish, right? But this is not the best time to actually go ahead to sell, because this recent movement here is above our 10 period moving average, except we see kind of like maybe runs like a drop, a pullback, and you see another drop again, then you can go ahead to sell on your EURJPY. By that time, price will be below the 10 period moving average. Then that will be a confirmation that okay, EURJPY, you can go ahead to sell. But as at now, this price is kind of going bullish. But once the bullish move is over, which I believe it should be over around this level, it should be over around this level, which I strongly believe. So once it is over, then you can go ahead to sell on your EURJPY. So EURJPY bearish. And let's what this 1-hour time frame says. You can still see 1-hour time frame is still bullish, right? So you want to wait to see kind of get multiple break or structure downward. going on your 1 hour time frame or 30 minutes time frame, then you can go ahead to sell on EURJPY. Now let's see what this New Zealand dollar to JPY. So one thing I know for sure is on this New Zealand dollar itself, we are actually having a bullish move. When you take a look at New Zealand CAD, you see that we're having a bullish move. When you take a look at New Zealand USD, you see the trend, we're having a bullish move. When you take a look at New Zealand Swiss franc, bullish, right? When you take a look at Australia dollar to New Zealand, you see that that is giving us bearish move because Australia dollar is dropping while our New Zealand itself dollar is actually going bullish. So it's not a surprise why we are having a bullish move on this our New Zealand dollar, right? So now, if you take a look at this JPY index, we will be expecting a bullish move soon, right? If JPY index is giving us that bullish move, or JPY is giving us that bullish move, and we are also expecting a bullish move on New Zealand dollar to itself, there won't be much movement, right? I mean, the movement will not be much because New Zealand dollar is going bullish and JPY index is going bullish. So, I mean, that movement will not be that strong, unlike the CADJPY where CAD is dropping, CAD is going bearish, and JPY is going bullish. This is one of the reasons why you are seeing a good amount of drop on this CADJPY. I mean, take a look at this trend on the CADJPY. You can see as it is falling. You can also see the same thing with Swiss franc JPY. You can see as it is falling, right? You can see it. But when you take a look at New Zealand JPY, you can see it is going bullish. Reason is that New Zealand dollar is actually going bullish and JPY is also going bullish. So you might not really grab a lot of movements on this move, on this. So I'd rather advise you to go on CADJPY or Swiss franc JPY and grab much movement on those ones than to take your trade on New Zealand dollar to JPY. But anyhow, if you want to go on this trade, let's see if we'll be able to take a level of 86.990 from here to this 86.990. That should be giving us about 50 pips. Or let's take a look at this highs here. I think we should be able to grab it. We should be able to hit this size by the time this week end. So from this our current level to the level we are expecting price to actually hit, that'll be giving us 85 pips. 85 pips, close to 90 pips, right, on this New Zealand dollar. Like I said, New Zealand dollar is still bullish, and we see JPY index still bullish. So I mean, there would be much movement. I personally will stay out of this trade. Now let's see what this 4 hour time frame says. So you can see this movement that it's making. It's kind of giving us like a weird movement, unlike CADJPY and Swiss franc JPY, where it is giving us a smooth and straight movement. This New Zealand dollar to JPY is kind of giving us like a weird movement. So this is one of the reasons why we might not easily be able to predict this movement. But if in case you want to predict it, let's see this price actually go up to take out this ice before this week end on New Zealand dollar to JPY. And now lastly, we'll take a look at our AUDJPY. So you can see the trend. So let's analyze some key level on daily time frame. You can see here we will take this top as a resistance and we will take this low as a support level. So you can see once this price comes to our resistance level, we tend to see drop to our support level, then come again to our resistance, and drop again to our support. You can see this came to our resistance level. You can consider this as a false breakout, and then comes to our resistance level. Then again to our it drops to our support, sorry, then comes to our resistance, and it has now dropped to our support. Now, what do we expect on this AUDJPY? We are expecting a bullish move. So this AUDJPY, I'm expecting a bullish move for on our AUDJPY. But also note that a news will be released today on our AUD, right? So it just depends if the news is positive, if there's a good movement. So just watch out for the news before you actually take your trade, right? I'll possibly say do not place any trade, right? Just wait for the news. If the news is positive and you are getting movements, higher highs and higher lows, especially on the 30 minutes time frame, we are seeing multiple breakout structure upward, especially on the 30 minutes time frame. Then you can go ahead to go long on this AUDJPY. If not, the news that may release, it might not, it might push our price down. So this is one of the reasons why I said just for the answer, wait for the news. If the news is good, it is positive, then you can go ahead to go long, because of course we would want to go long on our Australian dollar to JPY, but we need to see what the news will see. If the news will push our price up, then we go with it. And if it will continue to go down, then fine, no problem, we can go with it. And let's see what this 4 hour time frame says. So you can see this 4 hour time frame has now come to our support level, right? And we can see price is kind of failing to break below it more and more. So price is kind of reacting to these levels here. We are seeing price reacting at these levels here. So we'll continue to see this price react here for the next 4 hours, right? We'd want to see this price continue to react, kind of giving us like a ranging market move within these levels here, right? Until our news on Australian dollar actually come out, until the news that will affect our Australian dollar comes out, then we would want to consider to take that trade. If not, we might be seeing a similar movement like this on our 4-hour time frame, till the news comes out. So watch out for it on all JPY for the day.